Morgan Sanson is about to bring a whole ton of energy to Aston Villa's midfield. Joining from Ligue 1 side Marseille, here's what to expect from him. Morgan is 26 years old and has been applying his trade at Marseille since 2013. Playing over 150 games for them, including appearances in the Champions League and Europa League, he's become an experienced midfielder in Europe. In his time, he's been able to score 25 goals and assist 22 times, but this isn't what Sanson gets judged on. This season, game time has been limited due to injuries, as usually for Marseille, he's a starter in the team. Last season, no outfield player had more minutes played than Morgan Sanson. So let's look deeper into how he performed in the 2019-20 season. He's become an elite presser off the ball and in recent seasons has been fantastic in showcasing this. In 2018-19, he attempted the 6th most pressures in the league with 818. Then 2019-20, he attempted the 2nd most in the league with 719, the number less due to the early suspension of the league. He brings that tenacity in the midfield. The opposition will find him an irritating player because he's everywhere. John McGinn brings the energy in the midfield at Aston Villa currently, so let's compare them both. Looking at attempted pressures per 90, 2019-21, Sanson had an average of 29.8 with 8.3 successful. McGinn had 19.8 and 5.6 successful. Then this season, Sanson averages 26.1 with 8.2 successful. McGinn 14.5 and 4.1 successful. There is a big difference with the pressurising that they do, and of course you have to question if Sanson will be able to transfer those numbers to the Premier League. Teams in general this season aren't pressing as much due to the fixture congestion, so this will be interesting to see. However, that is just the type of player that Sanson is. That's what he's there to do and what Dean Smith will be hoping to see. Just quickly, if you could please like the video, it'd be greatly appreciated. It really helps the videos getting found, and click that subscribe button to help support the channel. Sanson's pressing ability will suit Aston Villa and the way they are playing this season. With them wanting the ball more, Sanson will give them that edge in terms of applying pressure to the opposition in order to get the ball to a teammate. Then this turns into an opportunity on the ball, where we know Aston Villa have been dangerous this season. Sanson increases the amount of times they can look to do this in each match. To give you an insight into Aston Villa's qualities on the ball and what Sanson will allow this Villa team to do more often, here's a clip from the analysis I did on them the other week. You don't just have the 5th most shots per 90 in Europe's top 5 leagues by just having better tactics, which is a vague way to describe their impressive season. I believe it's more the way the players think when they're on the pitch, and the results are showing it. This has made them want to dominate in games, unlike last season when they'd let the opposition have the ball and they'd invite pressure. We know possession isn't what tells the full story in football, but it tells you the way that the team want to play. And what I said before, the mentality of the team was to not want the ball as much. Their average possession last season was 43.9 in comparison to this season where it's 49.8. This means that Aston Villa are controlling the game more and they're able to make the on-the-ball decisions more often, and what they're wanting to do is attack as often as possible. And to put it straight, with more possession, it means Grealish can have more of the ball, one of the best chance creators in the league. Last season, he was averaging 3.9 touches per 90 in the opposition box. This season, he's averaging 8.8 touches. Maybe this is one of the reasons Dean Smith knew he had to control games more. Not many teams have players like Grealish who are so good in attack, so he had to take advantage of having him. Last season, Marseille manager Andre Villas-Boas would predominantly use a 4-3-3, but towards the end of the season, we did see a 4-2-3-1. In the 4-3-3, Sanson would start as his central midfielder. With the lone defensive midfielder behind him, he'd press higher when out of possession. And on the ball, he does have the freedom to get into the attacking third. Only Dimitri Payet and Bouna Sarr have more touches in the attacking third than Morgan Sanson. Usually, he plays in the left central midfield role, but a lot of the time is given the freedom to move between each flank. When he applies the pressure and wins the ball, he likes to carry the ball and has the technique and the quick feet to take the ball past players. For a central midfielder, he does show good speed and is a threat in possession. And a stat which shows how dangerous and quick he is when carrying the ball, he was actually the 13th most fouled player in the league, showing how the opposition find it difficult to stop him. Data shows that Sanson is usually involved in the build-up to a goal-scoring chance. He had 79 shot-creating actions, the 11th most in Ligue 1. And this shows how getting fouled a lot when he's on the ball is actually effective for the team. 11 times when he got fouled, it led to a shot attempt which was the joint most with Neymar. This is why Sanson will be the right player for Villa, because yes, he's defensively strong, a tireless midfielder who will reduce the time players have on the ball, but he also has the qualities to get the ball into advanced positions, play simple passes that could lead to something important for the team. So how will Sanson fit into Dean Smith's first 11 with Aston Villa in the Premier League? Well, in recent matches, Villa have been playing in a 4-2-3-1, 2 wingers with Jack Grealish at attacking midfield. If they stuck with this, then going off where Sanson has played for Marseille, he'd take take up the current position of Grealish, meaning he'd have to move out wide, which means dropping one of the wingers. I think El Ghazi has been super impressive, so I'd keep him in the side. The midfield two of McGinn and Louise remains in the side, who of course have to be starting for Aston Villa. I actually believe there is a very good chance this will happen because it's what they were playing when Barkley was in the side. Sanson would simply be taking the position of Ross Barkley, which worked so well in the games when he was involved at the start of the season. The first two games when Ross Barkley wasn't signed, Dean Smith played the 4-3-3, but Barkley's arrival meant a switch of formation, suggesting that this is what he'd prefer to play. Alternatively, they could use the 4-3-3, which as said they are comfortable in playing, and this would cater to Sanson as this is the setup he's been part of at Marseille. You could see Louise as the defensive midfielder with McGinn and Sanson in front as the two central midfielders. It'd mean that they'd both be able to press high in an attempt to win the ball back early, and they have two fantastic players with energy in those positions to do that. Both of them have qualities on the ball, so as central midfielders they're given the freedom to be effective higher up the pitch, looking to support the forwards. And they complement each other well, with McGinn being left-footed and Sanson is right-footed. What Villa then have with this midfield is a set of players that can be flexible in the way that they work and can alter positions to the situation in the game. Either looking to still get a goal, they can press high to get more chances and be effective in the final third, or looking to see out a game with the result that they have. The 4-3-3 can easily be switched to the 4-2-3-1 within the match if they want to be more defensive. Sanson and McGinn are well rounded in the fact that they can be effective in both departments. They aren't purely just an attacking midfielder or a defensive midfielder. I recommend that you don't miss out on future videos. Subscribe to Route 1 and like the video if you did enjoy.